any serious person who wants to make a change in Ghana will either be an MPP or an NDC. Is period. It's
Good
just
heart.
the way our politics is in Ghana that has made it quite unattractive for young people. What pushes me to go and look for jobs if there are no jobs? So you don't need to have it all to be able to, start. I know Galamsey is still an issue, but we've reclaimed about 7 forest reserves already. We said we're going to expand the free SHS and include private schools. And we've done no fee stress. We said we're going to do that, and we've done that. If we declare a state of emergency in, let's say, in the Tiwa forest, whatever the soldiers do over there will be justified.
If it's not broken, don't fix it.
Yes.
Just get in there and then put your agenda across.
I think the difference is that people are asking the president to declare a state of urgency, not emergency.
You seem to be in everything. Your hands are in all the cookie jars.
It's families that think that after SHS, you have reached the highest level of education. And boxing is one of the sports that has given Ghana a lot of laurels. But it looks like we are focusing on the football. Do you know the government is doing a national apprenticeship program? We're like, hey, and you see it, just go and learn the job. We'll pay the master, give you an allowance. If really want to help the youth, why don't we have a youth development bank?
Not just a politician, a business person. What are some of the core principles you think that anyone who wants to enter business generally should have?
Because I know for hard work, it's your choice. If you like, don't work hard.
The choice is yours. Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the After 5 podcast. Today we are going to have discussions on politics, service, and providing employment. I have with me Elikem Amanyawu. He is the director of YEA in the Ablekuma Central Constituency. Welcome, Elikem.
Thank you so much, Kofi. It's nice to see you.
Very nice to see you too. It's been ages.
Yes.
You're welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
I know that you've been doing a lot. You know, as a young man in this country, you've done your part, you've done your bit, you are serving. But we want to discuss what you have done so far and what even led you into that life. I know you're also an entrepreneur, not just a politician. I think you started more with business before even entering politics. What pushed you to, move into the entrepreneurial space?
Yeah, thank you so much. I think that for me to move into the entrepreneurial space, it was more of the things I heard, especially about to graduate or after school. Because after school, everybody was looking forward to, get a job. But all I kept hearing was there are no jobs. So if I'm hearing there are no jobs, what's pushes me to go and look for jobs if there are no jobs? So I didn't want to bother myself because I've heard the stories. People keep going and they come back and there are no jobs. They're not getting the jobs. And employers always felt like they were doing people favors. So I'm like, if that's the case, why don't I rather sit down and also try to create something? Because at the end of the day, it starts from somewhere. Yeah. So right after school, I didn't get to work. I went straight into entrepreneurship because I remember when I was doing my national service, right after my national service, I was appointed as a general manager of the company. Yes, right after my national service. It wasn't even during my national, because I interned with the company a little bit. And then during the national service, the owner of the company, he's actually an Absunian.
Oh, okay, great.
The owner of the company had multiple companies in the same building. So I was in almost all the companies working for him. So at the end of the day, I think right after my service, he had a petroleum company, which was OS Petro. Right after my service, he decided he wanted me to manage the media company. Okay. And it wasn't easy because imagine a young guy who is done with his national service, meeting a lot of older people in the company, and then you just come in and then they are made a manager. People even resign.
I can see.
Yeah, it was one of the challenges I faced. People even resign because they feel like they've been in the company for long, and I just came in and that was it, So,
but that is a testament to how hard you work and how focused you are as a person. But that is a very interesting story. I just wanted to know, if I may know, the first business you got into.
Yeah, so the first business I got into was actually an events business.
Okay.
Yes, I was so passionate about creating, transforming spaces, etc. So I remember when I was in school, I used to help this guy from Canada. And through the service I provided for him, he gave me a car for free.
Wow.
So when he gave me the car, I just knew that as a young guy, the car was not important to me at that point. So I sold the car and then I decided to go into the event. But I remember I bought my first 4 canopies.
Canopies?
Yeah, first 4 canopies.
Interesting.
I bought them, but the interesting thing was that I keep telling people, you don't need to have it all to be able to, start. So just these 4 canopies, but I advertised in such a way that people believe that I had everything. Because at the end of the day, nobody wants to come to an events vendor, go to another place for maybe chairs, go somewhere else for tables.
Yeah.
So I had 4 canopies, but then I put it upon myself to advertise all, so that when you're coming
You
coming
find a way.
to a one-stop shop.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'll go out there and outsource the rest, and I
Yeah.
deliver to you. So by the time I start making my own money, the clientele that I have already will already know that I have these things already. You see the whole thing. Yeah. So that was the first business I actually went to. So I went into that, and later I went into full production.
Wow.
That is, went into film. So
Wow.
I did so many short films.
Were you
I did-
acting?
Yes, I was acting at a point. I used to be an actor when I was in uni.
Okay.
Yeah, I used to act a lot. I did XOXO TV series.
Wow.
Yes. Oh, I did a couple of movies.
So it means wherever
did
you find yourself, you try to
Yes,
make
I
the
mean,
best out of the
people feel
situation.
like
Yeah.
I do a lot of things, but the thing is, we keep telling ourselves it's limitless possibilities. So why do you get stuck somewhere? So yeah, I was into the acting space, so I decided to produce myself. I produced the movie. I went into music production as well. I opened a label. I signed a couple of artists.
Oh, music label.
Yes, I opened
Would
a
you like
label.
to talk more about that?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm a music person. From high school.
Yeah, from high school. Yeah.
Yeah, from high school, I know music, so I just knew that I could do something for the music industry. So I went into the music space and I signed a couple of artists, including Tulenke,
Okay.
the current Afropop artist of the year, I think last time during the
Wow.
DGMAs here. And we did the hit song, the Boys, we don't like cheap girls. If you know that song, yeah.
I see.
Yeah, we did that song together and a couple of other songs. Yeah.
So I realized that you are a very, I would say, multi-talented person. You try your hands on things. You look to success. You try to carry the youth along, right?
Yeah.
Aside you have a lot of businesses.
Yeah.
But you're also in politics.
Yeah.
Right. And I look at where you are now as the municipal director for the YEA in your Ablikma Central.
Yeah.
Was that like a direct link? Did you see YEA as a place where you could enter? And for example, you create a business, which means you employed people.
Yeah.
Was it like an avenue for you to even do things on a much larger scale?
Okay, so I think that with my current position in government, I think it's as a result of my position in politics.
Okay.
Because I'm actually the constituency youth organizer in the constituency as well.
Okay.
So it's something I want to use to advocate to a lot of young people to go into politics. Because you can't tell me that you want the country to be okay and you're sitting on the fence. If you sit on the fence, you allow people to come and rule and will take decisions that will affect you
So
at the end of the day.
yeah.
So essentially, we need a lot of young people
People
to
with
come
good
into
minds,
politics. It's
good
just the way
hearts.
our politics is in Ghana that has made it quite unattractive for
Yeah.
young people. But basically, when I went into politics, I had a lot of backlash, especially with my business, because when somebody wants to rent from me, they'll
Yeah.
be like, oh, NDC.
NDC, yeah.
So at the end of the day, if even NPP wants to do a program, they don't even come to me and all that. So it was a lot of things I had to consider to do that. But I told myself, any serious person who wants to make a change in Ghana will either be an NPP or an NDC. It's period.
Yeah.
Because you can't tell me you really want to make a change in Ghana, you really want to be president, and you tell me you want to go independent. If you want to go independent, it's just to tell us that you're doing it for your own selfish ambition. Because at the end of the day, we know the major political parties in Ghana, and you know the numbers they carry. So, of course, if you want to make a change in Ghana, you have to be on the ticket of these parties.
If it's not broken, don't fix it.
Yes.
Just get in there and then put your agenda across. I can
Yeah.
see things from that perspective too. But so you entered politics to, do all of the things that you have mentioned. But aside that, there are, like you rightly said, there are two major political parties.
Yes.
What was the reason why you chose one over the other?
Okay.
The first thing I ask every politician when I
Yes.
meet them. Yeah, I wonder.
Okay, so it's more about the ideologies and the philosophies of the party.
Okay.
The NDC gave me a sense of belonging because I look at where I come from. And where I come from, I realized that the NDC it didn't matter who you were or the family you came from or the kind of your level of education. The simplest person in the family, or in quotes, the little person in the family can rise in the NDC no matter what. That is how come I identify with the NDC, because we are social democrats.
Yeah.
So I resonated with the ideologies of the party, looked at what the party stood for, looked in the past. You cannot downplay history.
Of
Look
course.
into the past, where we came from, the history of the party, even coming all the way from independence, what Kwame Nkrumah wanted to do, what Buzia wanted to do. You look at it and you look at how why there were military coups here and there, why did Rawlings do a coup, later handed over power, came back to do a coup. You see somebody who wants to just get things going, wanted to get things right, you know. So yeah, that's one of the reasons why
that made NDC more attractive to you.
Yes, it made it.
Now you're in power. I mean, when you started politics, you were not in power.
Yes,
if I'm right.
yes.
You were in opposition. And I know that NDC people complain a lot about the governance. I'm saying NDC for a reason. I know some Ghanaians also complain, but NDC complain a lot about, you know, the state of affairs in our country. What do you think you've done, you know, as a party in power in the past, you know, few months of your incumbency to ensure that there's a change? You know, I mean, I know you talk about the dollar rate, but anyway, just from your perspective, the things that have been put in place to ensure that whatever ditch you Ghanaians claimed, I don't want to hold brief for any party, that was happening. What have you put in place to ensure? Because you are a YEA director.
Yes. So I think that the president and his team have done a very fantastic job.
Great.
Because I believe everything that happens for a good reason. He's been a president before, so you could see that right from the word go, things started running. He was not now coming to know what is going on, how to go about things, what to put together, how to go about them. He already knew what was happening. He had already been at the presidency, so it was like everything was just going like a past question. So, for instance, we've reclaimed about 7. I know Galamsey is still an issue, but we've reclaimed about 7 forest reserves already, which were being used for Galamsey. You know, when it comes to the free SHS, we said we're going to expand the free SHS and include private schools, and we've done that. We said we're going to pay first-year students in tertiary. Yes, no fee stress. No fee stress. We said we're going to do that, and we've done that. Education is the bedrock of every nation, and that is what we are doing. We said we're going to. Not everybody will get a chance to go to school. So if you want to learn a trade, we've made the arrangements. We don't want the excuses anymore. So we brought about the National Apprenticeship Program. For the first time, we had a youth manifesto which resonated with the youth. And of course, if we keep saying that the youth are the majority in the whole world, then why do we sit down and we don't have the youth in the mainstream policies? Okay. So I think that we've done a lot in this 9 months, even with the dollar, the CD's appreciation, etc. I mean, I come to tell you that how come all the economists and all the people just didn't know these simple economics just to make sure that, because we are really not doing anything. All we are doing is fiscal discipline. Yeah. That's all. This is just like knowing when to spend and knowing when not to spend. So I don't even want to blame it on our gold reserves and all that, but I feel like, of course, you need to know when you need to spend and when you don't need to spend. So I think that the government has done a good job so far.
You mentioned Galamsey, and that is something that is on the hearts of every well-meaning Ghanaian. It's a very problematic aspect of our country right now. People are calling for a state of emergency.
Yes.
The president has not yet announced a state of emergency. Yes. People still insist that he should do that. From where you sit, what are your views on this particular matter?
The president actually stated in that a media encounter that we've not exhausted all the avenues available to us. Look, when we talk about state of emergency, it's a very, very serious thing. You're a lawyer, you know. When we talk about state of emergency, even as enshrined in our constitution, it gives the president extraordinary powers that certain things can happen. So, for instance, if we declare a state of emergency in, let's say, in the Tiwa forest, whatever the soldiers do over there will be justified. Liberties, freedoms will be taken away. So all the president is saying is that at this point, we've not exhausted, because at the end of the day, if you declare a state of emergency, what they are doing currently is what exactly they are also going to do. You're going to have the police, you're going to have the soldiers in the forest trying to just make sure that nobody is doing. And it's the same thing we are doing now. So all he's saying is that we've not exhausted it. And to be very honest, if you look at a former Philippine president, Duterte, he actually was at the ICC facing criminal charges because it was the same thing, declaring state of emergency on Islamic nationals, and later he moved it to drugs and all that. But now he's facing charges at the ICC. So declaring a state of emergency is exactly what we are in now. But people I think the difference is that people are asking the president to declare a state of urgency. Not emergency, because at the end of the day, the emergency is taking away freedoms, and it is what we are doing currently with the police and the soldiers, etc. You know, so
people's concerns are that when you were in opposition as the NDC, you demanded that the president then should, declare state of emergency. And all of a sudden now all of you seem to know exactly what that means and why you cannot do that at this point. And I think that is what a lot of Ghanaians are concerned
That's true.
about.
That's what I'm saying, that it is the Ghanaians are actually asking for a state of urgency, because I think what they are thinking about state of emergency is, excuse me, let me say, shoot to kill, etc. Like the very draconian measures that will cause fear and panic, etc. But don't forget that it could affect people who are also innocent. That's what I'm saying, that we've not exhausted all that. But at the point when we're calling for a state of emergency, it was getting to a point where it was glaring in our eyes that nobody cared.
Okay.
That was the whole point. It was glaring in our eyes that nobody cared. Today, if you go, I was in Kumasi last week, and if you're on the road, you see a lot of excavators seized on the road, but still people are still doing Galamsey. On my way coming, people are still doing Galamsey. The IGP's task force are out there. They are trying to do their best, but it is still a problem. And I feel like it should be a collective community effort so that we can be our neighbors' keepers. Because at the end of the day, unless we are mounting a police station at the Galamsey site, a post at the Galamsey site, because it is not as easy as we thought it is,
Yeah, I can agree to a certain extent. So from your submission, you are saying that you think that in the past 9 months, the NDC government has done better with regards to Galamsey than what the previous government did. Is that what you are alluding to?
Out of 9 forest reserves, I think we just even reclaimed one, so we are just left with one to reclaim. I think that, with even getting license before you can even import in excavators, etc., I think we are making headway.
Okay, that's great. You just move away from politics a little bit. We'll probably come back to it. But you are also a boxing promoter.
Yeah.
You seem to be in everything. Your hands are in all the cookie jars, everywhere.
It's youth and sports.
Yeah.
Youth and sports.
Yeah.
So, you cannot take sports away from the youth, know. So, basically, I decided to go into boxing promotion because I realized that it is a sport that a lot of youth, especially in the coastal areas, were involved in, and I'm close by the coastal areas. And you realize that it is very, very capital intensive. And boxing is one of the sports that has given Ghana a lot of laurels. But it looks like we are focusing on the football, So I felt like, okay, this is the chance for us to get another world champion. So I decided to go into boxing promotions. I signed a couple of boxers, and we're on it. We currently have the WBO Africa super lightweight champion.
Okay.
Yeah, who is signed to us right now. So we are hoping to get a world title shot very soon. Yeah.
So currently you are the YEA director. You running some businesses. You are very young, because what are the major challenges that you have faced in your journey? The major challenges that you have faced in your journey.
Yeah, of course. As a young entrepreneur, you would always talk about funding. Funding has always been an issue, especially in Ghana. People even get discouraged when they have to go and pitch to get some funds. They even get discouraged when they have to go for funds from government, because everybody thinks that government's funds is going to be protocol. So one of the things that inspired me to open another business. So I have another company called Priceless Agencies.
Yes.
So one of the reasons why I opened that company was because of what I went through. Because opening a business and trying to get loan or something, you go to a company where you are looking for a loan, or you go to a bank, and the requirements are just to tell you that you're never going to get the money. And I realized it's just a formality. The banks keep advertising, like, come to us. So I asked myself, so if you don't work with the government, you're not a salaried worker, does it mean you can't have access to loans? That's my question. I'm like, so how do the rest of us, because the informal sector is larger than the formal sector.
Chunk,
yes. So how do the rest of the people in the informal sector have access to funding? So it brought me to the usually when you have a problem, you try to find a solution. So I was like, since I went through it, I'm sure other people will go through it. And of course, emergencies can happen at any time. So I opened Priceless Agencies, which is more like a pawn shop, where at any point in time, if you need money to invest in your business, if it has, even in just one day, you should be able to have access to funding to do something in just a day. Because we believe that your business can go bad in just one day, because you probably need that money to clear that goods or to do something. So we decided to open that. And it has been a very big challenge doing that. And of course, another challenge is growing up as a young person. growing up as a young person to do business in Ghana, you know how people look at you to depict what you can do. So I remember I had a contract with MTN in 2015, when they wanted to launch their 4G.
Yeah.
I came together with my partners in Netherlands, and we built this technology where you can project your logo on a building, so you can see it from afar, like a long distance. So MTN contacted us. We were speaking on phone until they met me in person. But I realized that their reaction after they met me in person was different. Because when we went for the meeting, they were expecting somebody different.
Yeah, someone
you
older.
know, yes.
Someone who looked
who
older.
looked older, who was coming to do something. So after our interaction and I left, I realized they wanted to renegotiate. Because we had already spoken about numbers before we even met. But now that they've seen a younger person, they feel like, oh, when we give this guy some $50,000, he can just go and buy some Range Rover and then he'll be okay. You know. So it's also a challenge here, like not believing in young people, seeing young people and feeling that they don't have the experience. And it's the same thing that transcends into how companies ask for experience before they employ you. I mean, how can somebody who just finished
university,
you ask for 5 years experience to do what job? You know. So these are some of the challenges that I faced growing up, and especially with the event business. You know, if you don't have that funding to even get a warehouse, you can't do it. First, you need to have a house that you can even house it. So let's assume you live in a compound house. How would you be able to even keep your stuff? You can't keep your stuff. So it means that it can only be done by people who have their own houses, or you have a space where you can keep it. The more you get items, the more you need a warehouse. You don't have the warehouse.
Talk us through how you resolve these challenges, because you were successful. So you met all these challenges. How did you
so for instance, for someone like me, when I started a business, I had to move to my grandmother's house because I was still young. I had to move to my grandmother's house because there was space over there until I was able to get my own warehouse. You know, and to get the funding, as I said, I started little with the canopies, little by little. When I started renting people, so I was renting other people's stuff. They were getting the majority of the share. I could get as little as 1 CD, even from maybe just somebody's chair. But the more I kept doing it, the more I built a clientele base. So after 1 year, 2 years, I had a lot of clients that when I bought my stuff now, they were still coming to me with the same notion that I had the stuff in the past. So I think it just boosted the business. And
so as a business person, not just a politician, a business person, what are some of the core principles you think that anyone who wants to enter business generally should have?
I think everyone who wants to enter business should have patience. Yes, I think everybody who wants to enter business should have patience, because I feel like the ups and downs will come, the breakdowns will come, the times where you'll be like, it's a bit funny to me, like, people will not understand how I can do a whole event and tell you that I don't even have money. I can do I do national events. I can do a whole event and tell you that I don't have it, because at the end of the day, you are putting in a lot to get an event that will bring out the best, so that somebody else can contact you. So I feel like patience is very key. Patience is very key, because it will not be built in a day. So when you start and you get to a point and you feel like you're wasting your time, people are telling you, look, this thing will not work. There's a company like the same thing. They are doing the same thing. It will not work. I just feel like people just need to be patient. That is for me. That is
number one.
That's number one for me. Because I know for hard work, it's your choice. If you like, don't work hard.
The choice is yours. Right.
It's your choice.
You can choose not to work hard.
You can choose not to work hard. You can choose to still be sleeping. But I feel like it is the patience, because you get tired at a point. You will want to give up at a point. You'll be comparing yourself to other people. You see other businesses thriving. You see people on social media today. I just got my first this. I just did this. You see a lot of.
You are still building.
Exactly.
You are still building your business.
That's why I keep talking about the patience, because almost everything revolves around the patience. You are looking for funding. It will take your patience to be able to get that. You are looking. You have to keep knocking on the same doors over and over again. If you're not patient, by the time you leave the door might have been opened. So if you are not patient, you throw away so many things.
If you're not patient, if you are rejected once, you not go again.
You not go again. Yes, if you are rejected once, you not go again. So it's all about patience, staying, just being consistent on the same thing over and over again. You are patient, you are consistent. Because for me, I'm a firm believer of little beginnings. That's why you see me investing in talent, investing in little things that people might not see that something can come out of. You understand? Yeah. So investing in an artist, it's a 50-50. You don't know whether it's going to blow or not. I remember we shot our video in this very studio.
Oh, wow.
with Medical. Yes. Investing in an artist, it's a 50-50. Anything can happen to him. Investing in the boxer. If you invest in the boxer and today he gets
knocked out,
he gets
and
knocked
then
out
they-
and he has a head injury,
Yeah.
he can't fight anymore.
Yeah.
Your money is gone. And boxing is one of the most expensive sports.
Wow.
One of the most expensive. That is why you hear them, Floyd Mayweather and the rest, make a lot of money, because he can fight once a year and make over millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Just once. So boxing is very expensive, but before you get there too, you spend a lot of money before you get there.
Before you get there.
You know, boxing, everything in boxing is about dollars. There's nothing, it has got nothing to do with cities. Everything is dollars, you know. Yeah.
So, still on the youth and sports, I also know of your involvement with basketball.
Yes.
When did that also come in?
Yeah, so with basketball, you know, I played basketball back in Legon.
Okay.
Yeah, I even have my certificate. I captained Elizabeth Say Hall. It was
Okay.
a new hall, so we didn't have
Yeah.
more killer. But there were a lot of good basketball players in other halls. I played basketball, but I realized that we were not able to export a lot of basketball players outside. And the truth of the matter is that most of our basketball players just end up playing just here. They don't know the pathway to go abroad, because NBA is America at the end of the day. So what we intended to do was, we were fortunate to bring in David West, who was with San Antonio Spurs and then Golden State Warriors. I was able to bring him to Ghana to come and explore some of the things that we could do together in basketball. Unfortunately, we were able to get two guys who were signed by Adidas, and they are currently in college right now playing the NBA. So what we wanted to do initially was to keep bringing them here to Ghana so that they see for themselves and they can see what they can do. So that was what actually my company was doing. We were just trying. So in the end, we brought in another female who was with the U.S. women's national team, Angel McCautry.
Okay.
Who also, she's an Olympian, 2 times Olympian. She came to Ghana as well. We started something with the female basketball as well, so that we can see how best she can recruit some people and then go back. The thing is that we want Ghana to become the hub where people can look for talent when it comes to basketball. But we realize that basketball, there's no league like basketball league. You only play it in college. So when I met these guys who were into basketball, I had conversations with them. We spoke at length. I decided to bring some of them to Ghana. I showed them some of the things we did, and they were interested. So they made me. So I'm with Critical Sports, which is an agency in New York. They made me their Africa president. So I'm actually scouting for them. But sometimes I realize that it is not about those who are coming. Our guys, some of them are also not serious.
Okay.
We were trying to recruit for this company, and if I tell you what I'm going through just to recruit for this agency,
tell us. We would like to know.
You
so
marvel.
That, we want people to know that you, as an individual, you are doing your very best to ensure that wherever you find yourself, you are not being selfish and just trying to get the best that you can. You're trying to extend the benefits that you get to other people as well, and the challenges that you face.
We were trying to recruit for them. All they needed was database, just database, so they can see maybe the height of the person, where the person plays, etc. There's this basketball court on the Tangas Line Park. It's around Latebeko, around Video Gold. I went there and I just asked them to just give me that database so that they can see the kind of people that they have over there. Just that. And it looks like I kept bothering them now. So now I had to move to Ashaiman. There's a team at Ashaiman. I had to go there. I went to meet Yausechi at Legon, spoke to Yausechi, and we started building. Because when I brought David West, I worked with Yausechi on that. So I started working with Yausechi to see how we can help these guys. Because at the end of the day, it looked like they don't even believe that it will happen. So everybody's just reluctant about it. So currently we are just doing our best to see how.
But there was a Sprites Ball thing. I don't know whether that plays.
He says so exclusive to this podcast. Yausechi is bringing it back.
Okay,
so
great.
Sprites Ball went. It went. There was Choice Ball. There was Sprites Ball. Yes. So it's coming back.
That's interesting. So it means that you are doing a lot of work with the youth.
Yes,
a lot. But I want to know, in your constituency, Ablekuma Central, is there something in particular you are doing with regards to, let's say, the sports? Boxing is not really in Ablekuma Central. I don't know about that. I'm not certain about that. But what kind of sports do you want to develop in your constituency
So in my constituency currently, the kind of sports that we are currently developing is football.
Okay.
The reason why it's football is it comes naturally to everybody, every young person. But the thing is how to bridge the gap between their next step and then where they are.
where they are in the professional
Yes.
football. Yeah.
How to just bridge that gap is the problem. So that is what we are trying to do currently. We just want to bridge that gap. So currently we are building an application, which I'm sure maybe I'll come back here and then we'll speak about.
Yeah.
So we want to do our best to bridge that gap so that you don't always need a scout to come to Ghana before somebody can be seen.
Exactly.
A scout should be able to sit in their homes and also see somebody. It's just
Talent,
like Facebook.
yeah.
So we are building an
exactly.
application which is just like Facebook, but
Okay.
it's just for scouting.
Okay.
So that today, if a footballer uploads it, we only have scouts over there. They should be able to see it.
That's a wonderful idea.
Yes. So that is the only thing, because we see a lot of talent being wasted. So today, you see somebody be like, hey, this guy was my mate. Oh, he used to be the best footballer. Look at him today. He's working somewhere. Why are they working and football is, yes. So that is what we are trying to do, and that's what I'm focusing on now. We are trying to bridge that gap just between them and then the scouts.
That's wonderful. So why? Could you throw more light on what you do there? I mean, you are the director, so your job is a lot. But just what are some of the things Audiomack Central people should look out for?
Yeah. So YEA, I want to give a big shout out to my CEO, Honorable Malik Basintali, and my regional director Alaji Judah. So the YEA is the Youth Employment Agency. Our sole responsibility is to provide employment opportunities for the young people. And as I speak to you, just yesterday, we were able to deploy community protection assistants, about 150 of them, and then about 50 of the fire service assistants to different posts. What we do is that to be able to be recruited into the main services, it has become a challenge for government because we are still on an IMF program. So due to that, we still want to provide employment, but on a minimal scale, so that at the end of the day, when the major ones are opened, we can still put them in. So currently, as I'm speaking to you, we are training people for prison services in Ankafo. As I'm speaking to you, those going for the ambulance services are also just underwent medical screening. So what we are trying to do is that we want to build these guys so that they'll be in our communities. So they'll be like first responders. Because just 3 days ago, there was a big fire outrage in my constituency. And that was the first time I got really close to fire to see what we needed more, not just about fire attendants and fire personnel. We needed a lot of education. So that is what we are trying to do in our municipality, that these fire service assistants will now be going to the markets to educate. Because I feel like in Ghana, we don't like the preventive measures. We always like to solve the problem after the situation has happened. So that is what we are doing currently. So we are recruiting. We are recruiting for work abroad as well. As the government said, if we can't absorb all the people here, there are labor shortages in different parts of the world. So what we are doing is that we are also recruiting for different countries, and this is legal migration. It's government to government. So it's the facilitation is easier, and nobody's cheated. Nothing happens to anybody. Everybody's protected. So we are actually recruiting for some companies. We've recruited for companies in Romania, recruited companies in South Korea. We are currently recruiting for UAE and Saudi Arabia. Hopefully, we are expanding to Germany very soon. So that's what we are doing.
Great work you are doing. So just tell me a little more about the Voter Diaspora Youth, because you are the organizer, right?
Yes, I'm the regional youth organizer.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
What is that about?
Yeah, so the Voter Diaspora is the Voter Diaspora Caucus. So basically, it is the session of people from the voter region and then those abroad that we try to mobilize for the NDC. So I'm the regional youth organizer, so I mobilize. I have other youth organizers under me in Greater Accra.
But how long have you been in NDC? That's the question I wanted to ask, because I think you seem to be doing so much for somebody who I just tell us, how long have you been? Not necessarily. I mean, some people have been in it for 30, 40 years, and so I'm just wondering. You seem to be very focused. You constantly want to bring something, do something new, expand the frontiers, bring the other youth along, not just go by yourself. And I find that very interesting, and actually it gives me confidence in the youth that we are going to be selfless leaders and not just look at what we can do, get for ourselves, and just move our way.
Yeah, sorry, I keep saying that is the impact you make and the difference you make, because I started off as just a regular member. And if I tell you how difficult it was for me to even be part of NDC, you marvel. Just to be a part of the NDC. Because I didn't even know where they were having meetings. I didn't even know. So I was always everywhere trying to figure it out. and eventually I became a branch communication officer.
Okay.
Because anytime I get the opportunity, I'm able to articulate very well and I speak. So I became a branch communication officer until I became a constituency youth organizer. So would you believe that it was just my first time being a constituency youth organizer? But if you see any constituency with a youth wing logo, I am the one who created that logo. I created a logo which transcended the whole of Ghana, because people didn't used to brand their constituencies. So my constituency had a letterhead, we had our own logo, etc. And so everybody started using that logo as a generic to create their own throughout the whole of Ghana. So today, if you see any logo which you see something youth wing or women's wing, I started that logo.
Would you say that acumen you have is as a result of the fact that you were a business person, or you are a business person, and branding is very important to any business? So I think that transition from business to politics, you brought in something refreshing, something new to the NDC in your municipality. Is that what? Would you agree to that?
That's correct. That's correct. That's correct. Because I think that everything I learned in business, because I felt like politics is business. Everything I learned in business actually held me in politics, because you are trying to sell the party to people. That's basically the whole point. You're trying to sell the party to people, to the young people. You're trying to make them resonate with what you're selling. It's just like business. Whatever product you're selling, you're trying to let people resonate with it and be a part of it. So basically, I think I brought that into politics, and it has really helped, because we've shaped the politics in such a way that if it comes to my municipality or constituency, everybody wants to be a youth organizer. Everybody wants to be a youth organizer, because we've branded ourselves in such a way that if you're not part of us, you feel like you want to be a part of us.
Wonderful. So maybe I'll take you. It's been too serious so far, so much politics and business. What do you like to do for fun? Because the reason why I'm asking this question is that the thing that some people may consider fun, you convert it into businesses. So, for example, boxing is something we watch just to, while our wait time. Football is same, basketball is same. But you happen to have turned all these into ventures. So I'm asking, what does Elikem do for fun? That let me just unwind. What do you do?
What I do for fun? This question always marvels me.
Because I'm like, what do you do to relax? Let me put that. What do you do to relax?
Honestly, because I'm often busy, I think what I do to relax is to stay home. Just stay home and just relax with my family. That's I think
you're
that's
a family man as well.
Yes.
I'm very intrigued, because being a family man and doing all of this, because being a family man alone is a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
So doing that, and then all these things we have mentioned, I'm wondering whether you have more than 24 hours. So I just...
I'll give a big shout out to my wife.
Okay.
She's been very supportive.
Okay.
She's really helped me through it all, because she's a finance person.
All right.
So sometimes I let her do some of the things. She's able to handle so many things
so
for
you
me.
bond over that. It's all part of...
Yeah,
all right.
But aside that, to be honest, my what I do for fun is to relax, because it's very, very overwhelming.
But what, do you have something to do to relax?
Just go on a trip.
Okay.
Yes, I love to travel a lot.
You love traveling.
I love to travel a lot. Yeah, especially when you're traveling when it's not your money. It's fun.
I agree, bro. I agree.
I love to travel a lot. Yeah.
So, still on politics, you YEA municipal director, right?
Yeah.
I believe that you have bigger plans, because I'm listening to you and I realize that you move from A to B. You keep rebranding and moving from one point to the other. What does the future look like for you in terms of, with regards to politics alone? Is there something in particular that you want to do?
I think I was born to serve my people, and it's a huge conviction that I've always had, and I believe that it will be in the right place if I'm able to represent my people even in Parliament.
Okay.
So I'm hopeful for the future to be able to represent them, because I feel like we can do more than what is being done in Parliament, actually. And I keep saying that you can't always be reliant on government. That's why I always keep giving shouts to Honorable Alfredo Kovandapoy, bringing the sister schools with the Millennium Challenge, something. He was able to build a lot of schools with sister cities in the US. That's all I keep believing. I keep believing that if governments can't do much, you should be able, as a parliamentarian or as a public figure, you should learn how to lobby. That's basically what happens. If you go to the UN General Assembly, you're only going to speak for your country. If you are in Parliament, you're only going to lobby for your constituency. So I believe that I'd be in the good space. And I keep saying that it's only young people that feel the pain of young people.
Of course.
It's only a young person that understands what you do, what you go through when you're paying your rent. It's only a young person that understands what you go through to be able to eat. So if you have a young person that is representing a lot of young people, he understands the plight of the young people and he's able to articulate it well.
So that is what the future holds. But what about business?
Yeah.
Because I don't think you'd ever let your business side die, because it is your bedrock that everything is built on. Is there something that we should look out for from Elikem in the business world?
Yes. There's a lot. We are still trying to solve a lot of problems. As I said, we're trying to solve a lot of problems. So we've diversified a little bit. We keep diversifying here and there. And as I said, with other companies and then the apps we're trying to. Right now, we're going a lot into tech, because I feel like everybody has a mobile phone now. So when we go into tech, it's going to help. So most of the solutions that we're trying to provide in the past, we're trying to provide them through these app developments that we're going to be doing. So yes, we are looking to expand even through the sports. We want to do that.
Sports and all of that.
Yes.
You are also very much interested in youth empowerment.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Aside the creation of jobs, what are some of the other things you think we can do as a nation, not just you, to help empower the youth?
Yes, I think the youth should be given a seat at the table. I mean, I keep telling people that even if you're not given a seat, you break the door and pull your own seat and then you sit down. Because at the end of the day, it marvels me that even our Minister of Youth does not sit in cabinet. He's a minister, but it's not a cabinet minister.
Yeah.
So if we are intentional about helping the youth, I think that policies like that should be made into laws. I think that most of the policies we are doing for the youth, the young people, should be an act of parliament, so that successive governments would also follow. Because we keep talking about helping the youth, but this is the same youth that are still complaining. And I feel like we need to be very, very deliberate about it, all the policies when it comes to the young people.
Yeah.
So if you want to, let's say, create jobs for the young people, or if you want a representation of women in some particular fields, for instance, like the way the affirmative law is now, it is now a law. So everybody is guided by it. So I think that it should be, if really, really want to help the youth, why don't we have a youth development bank? I was in Namibia recently for a conference. Immediately I said that everybody was quiet. Why don't we have a youth development bank? We have agricultural development bank. We're about to establish a women's development bank. So if you really want to help the youth, why don't we have a youth development bank? So these are some of the things we should look at, because the young person should be able to enter a bank and not ask to bring a house before he can access a loan.
Because they don't have a house.
They don't have it. So you see, I don't want us to be looking like we want to help when we are actually we actually don't want to help.
Could it be a lack of confidence in the youth?
No, I don't think it's a lack of confidence in the youth. The youth are just...
Because you know that I hear when older people talk about the youth, it's with a little bit of disappointment sometimes. That, these people, they're always on their phones. They are not really doing anything, So I get that sense that maybe the older people don't think that we have what it takes to make good use of what they provide. And for which reason they don't even want to provide us with more. They want to limit us because they think we are not ready to take up that opportunity. But someone like you has clearly broken that notion.
Would you believe that as part of the problems of our youth is even information? Information for them to even hear that there's a government program here, or government is bringing up a program for young people, for them to even hear that information. Because our social media is full of unnecessary things. So we are not sensitizing our social media. So at the end of the day, the most important information is they just scroll it over. The most important information is they just scroll it over and then they move away. So I feel like even our social media, we have to sensitize it in a way. Information access. So at the end of the day, when I tell somebody, do you know the government is doing a national apprenticeship program? We're like, hey, I don't see it. Do you know government has an Ejumera program where your business can be funded? The person will be like, he doesn't know. But at the end of the day, it's government's responsibility to support individuals. There is LEAP, which has to help our older people, 65 years and above, older people in society, our social welfare services. Who are those having access to these funds? So I feel like information is also very, very scarce when it has to do with some of these things. So for me, I believe that the young people are not lazy in Ghana.
So you believe they are ready? We are ready, not they. I'm past.
Yes,
We are ready to take over
yes,
the
I
reins
think
of.
people are ready, and I think we should also sensitize our parents. You know, the education should because as the Youth Employment Agency Director, when I sit there yesterday, somebody came to my office, and I asked him how old he was. He said 18. He says he's looking for a job, and I asked him why is he not in school, and he tells me his dad said he shouldn't continue. I'm saying, how does your dad tell you not to continue? Is it because of money? Because if you're talking about money, SHS is free.
Yeah.
Right? SHS is free. He said he even got the SHS in Kumasi Boys or something like that. Now he tells me the dad says that he shouldn't go to a boys' school. Who is holding this dad accountable? Now the boy is actually in my office looking for a job as a cleaner. After junior high school. He's just looking for at 18 years when it's not even over. There are families that think that after SHS, you have reached the highest level of education. I'm telling you. I have sat in that office and I've interviewed a lot of people, so I know that there are families that think that SHS is your highest you can go. We are not going to, don't bother yourself to go to uni. Like in our family, we don't go to university.
Wow.
You know, but now even in Ghana, first degree is looking like SHS certificate now. So you can imagine.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's a lot of education that has to also go in so that we can help these young people, because now if you're not going to school, how much are the jobs going to pay you?
What is also your view on technical skills? So, that kind of skills that we can give to the youth to help them become more employable. So, for example, I don't know why the government is training, these kinds of people.
Yes.
So I just want you to, throw more light
on
that.
So the government has a national apprenticeship program under the National Youth Authority, which is solving the problem of people complaining that there is no money to pay the masters before you can start the work. Before you start any vocational program, you need to either bring a crate of minerals, maybe one goat, you add some, so many things before you are accepted at the workplace. So government is saying that just go and learn the job, we'll pay the master and give you an allowance. So government has a program like that called the National Apprenticeship Program.
But a lot of people don't know about this. So back to the information.
So information. So it is not going down there. So at the end of the day, it's just a few people. People don't, so what government is saying, that don't struggle to pay to learn a trade. I'm going to pay for you. Just be willing, just go. If you're not only going, I'm also going to give you an allowance while you learn the trade.
So then how do we get to disseminate this information for it to get to the intended targets? Because like you rightly said, the government may be doing a lot of things. But how do we communicate for it to get to the people who actually need this information?
Yeah, I think that the influencers should reduce their packages. They are doing a lot.
The
influencers, the social media influencers, I think they can do a lot. But it's a matter of they're willing to also help with their platforms.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, budget will use the traditional means, will use their own social media. But I feel like these influencers that these young people follow should also play a part in national development.
Because they're influencers, they should influence national development.
Yes, people follow them a lot. They have a lot of following. So if they are also able to put it out there, it will go far. Because for somebody to learn a trade for free,
that's a very good thing. So
and everybody is
step in the right direction.
Yeah, everybody will be certified by the CT vet. So at the end of the day, vocational training will become very, very attractive. So many people will learn a trade or a skill. So it's something that the government
I think it's laudable. I think it's a great idea that we should all try to put out there and get people to,
just like the way farming looks attractive now.
Yeah.
In days past, when you say you're a farmer,
I mean,
but now people
have people in your
farming is like it's flex.
People who are well educated who are also farmers.
Exactly. So farming is looking like a flex. So I believe that technical skills was because at first too, when you were in high school and you're a technical person, people really thought that's wabon, But now it's looking like a big deal now when you have.
It is. I mean, they're the ones who do the work. So
and they're the ones who charge.
Yeah. They're the ones who can actually put things together.
Exactly,
So I think that they are very, very relevant. Elikem, thank you so much, Elikem, for coming.
Thank you so much.
It's a very insightful conversation.
Thank you.
We'll bring you back again soon for further discussions.
All right,
thank you, bro.
Thank you so much.
Charlie, give me space.